Oh no, it's Mark! Hey, what's up, Elite Warriors? Mark Yoon here today, and we're bringing you. I'm with Ragiroth Gaming in the flesh today. So we're doing a new episode review for this week's Dragon Ball Super episode. Sorry, I have notes right here, so if I look down, I apologize. This week's episode is episode 101, the impending Warriors of Justice, the Pride Troopers. But first, before we get into the episode, I wanted to know, what did you think about this overall episode today?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it gets major points for me because that's some Android 17 action. I mean, it wasn't as much as I was hoping, but you know, it's still nice. And I think to tease the next episode to have even more. I think Goku said something about that. Yeah, that was great. I think seeing Caulifla, say her name right?
Caulifla. Yeah.
Okay. And Kale team up, even though it wasn't looking good. And Kale got that like legendary Super Saiyan, but not really. Yeah, Berserk Saiyan. She still had like the green hair. That was really cool. You know, it was just crazy. I didn't expect them to take down like so many of the Universe 11 Pride Trooper guys. So
especially so quick. Yeah, they all got yin.
I mean, I guess like I guess maybe the strongest four are the remaining ones.
Yeah.
You know, at least Jiren we know is pretty strong.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool.
I did as well.
One of my favorites probably recently so far.
So we start off the episode with Kale coming to, and Caulifla asks her if she remembered her what happened when she was in her Berserk transformation, and it turns out that Kale actually doesn't remember anything, which just lends more credence to the theory that she was completely out of control and didn't know what she was doing. Right. So Goku asks Jiren to fight almost directly after, but they get interrupted by Toppo, who like fires off his like Justice FU beams. Orange. Yeah. To which like then I guess Goku goes underground or whatever. His Justice Flash. And then Toppo and Jiren talk about conserving. Well, Toppo tells Jiren that they need to conserve their energy and let the other Pride Troopers handle them, so then they vanish to go off into parts unknown for the time being.
Split up.
Yeah. And then of course we have the real beginning of the episode where Goku shows up in front of Kale and Caulifla.
I also like when Goku's like, Jiren, I want to fight him. And Jiren's just like, okay.
Yeah, you kind of just like thought it was ridiculous.
He's like even more nonchalant than it. Like I didn't know it was possible.
I know he was like no. But so then so of course the Pride Troopers show up on top of this rock, and they look like they're about ready to throw down. And we got names for all of them. So we have Casserole, which is the guy with the
Rolento looking guy.
The Rolento looking dude, yeah. And then we have Tupper, which is the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, the guy that made himself like heavier.
Yeah, the really big dude. And then the chick, the kind of cute girl, her name was Cocotte?
Cocolette? Or something like that. It's something like chocolate, but not really.
Yeah. We'll just call her Big C.
I mean, she was the only girl one, so I can just call her female member.
And then, Zapeel or Zaray? The little yin with the horns. I think that was his name. Something like that. We'll call him Z. We're going to call him Z.
Their names at least like so quickly.
Yeah, and then we have Kettle. So, to talk about them for a quick second, what do you think about, not getting into the episode yet, but how do you feel when you first saw the troopers? Do you like their designs? Like,
I mean, I don't like love their designs. I don't hate them. I mean, basic. What's his face? The Rolento guy.
Carousel.
He was cool. I liked his design. The girl, I actually liked her design. She was pretty cool. She kind of reminded me of
cute, though, too. Like one of the Demon Warriors from the Boris
realm. She kind of reminded, because I think I liked it because she reminded me of Magus from Chrono Trigger's. I know Kira's around with the designs. Yeah. And like I guess I sort of like the little guy. I mean, he was goofy looking, but he's one of the cooler looking little guys.
That was goofy.
And then the bulky guy, like he was lame at first, but I think his power made him a bit better.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
And the green dude, like I liked his attacks, but
one of them was green.
He was like
the alien looking
the one that I think first fought Caulifla at first.
Right.
He had like those like purple energy rains. And,
Kettle. That one's
Kettle. That's right. Kettle. Yeah. I mean, they weren't like I didn't love them, but I didn't like hate them either.
Yeah, I think like on a design scale, according to especially like comparing them to the other universes, probably give them like maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10.
The silly thing with me is like even in this episode, like the part where Master Roshi and Tien like beats that like what a really cool looking guy. I just hate that like the really cool looking design guys are the ones that get knocked out easily, and the ones that are like a little more goofy.
Precho.
Oh really? Okay. Like the more quirkier looking designs, they're like
they're always
the main focus.
They come
it's just
on
like
top, yeah.
kind of annoying, you know, especially because I like that universe that Precho, right?
Yeah.
Precho is from that robot universe, and they just kind of getting
they're
knocked to the side. It's really a shame.
The crap out of that one guy last episode.
Yeah, because I was kind of looking forward to them, but of course, you know.
So yeah, so we getting to that part that we were just talking about, we cut to Master Roshi doing the lightning flash surprise attack on Precho, which we saw him do obviously in Dragon Ball. I think it is in the in the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai or 21st. Maybe.
Not as familiar with Dragon Ball, but yeah, I know like I know where you're going.
And we see some Universe 7 teamwork for once, and not just backing their asses against the wall.
It was nice to see Tien do something.
So Tien shows up to this Kikoho with the Tri-Beam, the Neo Tri-Beam, and he blasts him while Master Roshi has Precho frozen in midair in the lightning attack.
All guys gotta work together.
And then he's gone. So we go, bye-bye!
Yeah,
that guy's gone.
Unfortunately, but it was cool.
He was pretty cool looking though, I agree.
I mean, it's so a little bit.
Yeah, but then we cut to Tupper, who we were talking about before, the mustache yin. And he's like bear hugging Goku and talks about how he can increase his weight. Similarly, I guess like maybe like the gravity around him or something, I don't know, but he just increases his weight and like it starts to like force Goku to the ground. I mean, this part for me, I don't know about you, was a little inconvincing because they didn't give us any numbers. They didn't tell us like how much his weight was increasing or what he can do. And we're talking about Goku who's trained in like what 400, 500 times gravity in like the spaceship. So.
I mean, he didn't really put up too much in the fights, and that might be
kind of
stood there. I mean,
But I mean, Goku, to be fair, if he was like going all out, he'd pretty much just yin half these people. So I guess for sake of storytelling,
you know, and so the other people could actually.
And he's been known to play around in fights at first before he gets serious anyway. Yeah. So we can.
Funny enough, the guy's power kind of reminded me of a mix of Greed from Fullmetal Alchemist and the guy from Bleach, Iziru, the blonde guy. Like the hook sword.
Every time he slashes you, your weight increases.
Yeah, because it kind of reminded me of a little bit, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. So then, like, Z shows up. I'm calling him Z for sure because I don't know how to pronounce his name. So the little yin with the horn shows up, and he does this like kind of super fast tornado attack. And this is really cool because they end up like, of course he gets yin, but like they end up like combining their attacks. Him and the weight guy, he does this like
I think that was kind of neat. It kind of reminded me of, actually, funny enough, it sort of reminded me of the Purple Comet from Jason.
Oh yeah. So well, they are kind of very Ginyu Force-y.
Yeah.
Because you know,
they're like a slightly more serious Ginyu Force.
Because Akira Toriyama likes to do a lot of political statements in his character designs about like superheroes in Japan. So like with the Ginyu Force and the Pride Troopers, they're all making fun of like the kind of Super Sentai area of like Japanese culture. Which, you know, everyone knows. The Great Saiyaman was like a really, he's pretty much a common rider. Like, you know what I mean?
Basically,
They show up and they pretty much hold it together doing their own thing, but then like you got Kettle fighting Caulifla, and she's just like blasting the crap out of him while she's holding Goku. Remember, that like Goku is like, he's like forced to let go of Goku. No, that was 18. That was 18, I'm sorry.
Which, oh yeah.
Remember, she was just like hand blasting him until like he finally
18 saved Goku.
Which was nice to see. And then they were like standing next to each other. It kind of looked like Frieza and Cell. They were just like standing next to each other like doing key blasts. And then and then the chocolate girl, she does like some kind of dimensional illusion around Kale and like keeps her trapped in it.
Yeah. Bless you.
My bad. Anyway, so she creates this dimensional barrier or like rift that kind of like traps Kale in place so she can't really move. And then it seems like Caulifla's getting beat up, so they're pretty much like getting like back up against like a wall.
Yeah, they were almost screwed.
Yeah, and then we see 17 and 18 teaming up, which is nice because we actually haven't seen that since the Future Trunk movie. If you think about it, they've never fought together besides that one movie.
I still think they should like beat some guy like how they killed Future Gohan, but
just
I guess
do like that behind each other. I don't know if they're as in sync with each other's fighting styles as before. They've developed so much further.
Yeah, they've been apart for a while.
Yeah,
they're also, I guess, not as savage. You know?
Yeah.
You know, they're stronger.
Yeah. Well, apparently they can take on Super Saiyan Blue, so you know. And so they're fighting against Casserole, and he creates these hand energy blades, kind of like Vegito-esque or Zamasu-esque energy swords, like our boy Salsa.
Yeah.
So he starts fighting at them at the same time, and
squad.
and they're dodging it. They're doing a pretty good job defending against it, which is I actually wasn't expecting that because he's the third in command of the Pride Troopers. Yeah. He was talked up and like showed a big game like earlier, and I thought that like he was actually gonna be able to do more, especially against.
I mean, his powers were cool, and it was cool seeing him fight 17 and 18.
They were.
Yeah, I guess they needed to take someone out that was sort of a big deal on their side. You know?
Here's the thing, though. What do you feel about the pacing of Dragon Ball Super thus far? Because I feel like the Pride Troopers, they made them unique enough with their abilities that they could have stretched this out, into like a 3-episode kind of mini arc, like taking them out slowly, not just like getting rid of them all in like one fell swoop.
I guess they just want to focus on like each, maybe universe by universe, I guess, because like in the next episode, to focus on, I always forget the number. One with like the girls and the fusion and the stuff.
Yeah.
I forget what your number.
The magical girl universe. They're like the magical girls.
Yeah. And so I guess that's focused on that one. This was focused on 11.
But the thing is, if we're all hyping this up, okay, be real. We all know that the World Tournament's going to get interrupted, the Universal Tournament, and there's going to be a real threat. Probably the Grand Priest and the Angels revolting against Zeno. Every single tournament that's ever happened in Dragon Ball history has been interrupted by a better event. Like we're talking Majin Buu saga, there was Spopovich and Yamu. Even in like the original Dragon Ball, King Piccolo like interrupted.
I mean, like I know this wasn't much, but the end of Z, Goku meeting Oob, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go train, and then that's it.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the tournaments are always like a setup or a prelude to the next part. So everyone keeps saying like, oh, Jiren and Goku are going to fight, that's going to be the final thing. I'm like, I don't think so at all. Actually, I think that, like, I don't know if any more universes are actually going to be eliminated.
I mean,
maybe the Magical Girl universe, I think, is going to get eliminated.
Maybe. I mean, they could fight, like, after the main threats again, like,
I don't think so. Because I think what's going to happen is, like, the threat's going to be so real with all the angels, I think, teaming up under the Grand Priest, that, like, the universes are going to need to come together. And they're going to get rid of the weak universes. Like, that's why they got rid of, like, the Dawn universe and, rest in peace. And
rest in peace, guys.
Bergamo, peace out, guy. My puppy dog universe. And then I think the Magical Girls are going to go, and I think the Machine World is going to go. But we know for a fact that Universe 6 is not going anywhere. Caulifla and Kalo
they're sticking around for a while.
Yeah, with Hit, like they're good. They're in good shape. And Universe 7,
I mean, they sort of teamed up a little bit. Because Goku just kind of let some of them go.
Yeah, he said that actually after the end of I know we're going off script a little bit, but at the end of like the battle when they were like saying like bye to each other, kind of like 17 and 18 were like, all right, like they're ready to throw down, and Goku was like, no, we're like you're not our enemy, so.
Yeah.
And then 18's like, they're all our enemy, and I don't know. I mean, but my theory, my personal headcanon like hypothesis is that like Caulifla is Goku from that universe.
Yeah.
Because remember how it was presented in Universal Tournament arc in the beginning? They said it was the 12 universes, but it was 6, and they all had a pair. Right. Yeah. So that's why Beerus was a twin.
Frieza, Cabo, Vegeta.
Beerus with and originally all of them were supposed to follow that trend, but I think they went away from that. Yeah. But Universe 6 and 7.
Who the hell's hitting what Tomo and Vegeta supposed to be?
I know.
I was gonna mention something that's going off. Did you notice that like when they were first showing the universe when they got there, Universe 6, there's this like new guy we haven't seen, this little red devil dude. They haven't shown him at all yet.
Really?
I could have sworn there was some little red guy that I've never seen before.
See, it's hard because when I'm doing these episode reviews, I watch them a couple times, and I have to write down stuff, so it's like I don't catch everything. Yeah. So I'm glad that I have somebody else there watching it with me this time.
Yeah, no one else has mentioned him. It's like weird, but yeah. And especially because it's like, counting off the top of my head, there's not 10. Right. I know of, Well,
there's also that other universe that's got like 2 hidden missing warriors.
Yeah, TN said something about like I sense another presence or something.
Right. Yeah. So but going back to my point was I don't think Jiren's going to be the final battle with this. So I think that they're just like they're saving all those fights because we're actually going to see them team up against a bigger threat. And maybe they'll have a little sparring match after Zeno's like, okay, well, I'm not going to destroy any more universes.
Yeah, that's what I think they would do.
But I doubt it's going to be anything like a big battle like that. So.
Yeah, like fight to their death.
I mean, we'll see what happens at the end of the saga, but you can come back here again and then be like, oh, you guys are smart, and we'll be like, yeah. So, I guess moving on to the next part of the episode, where were we at? Okay, so Tupper, like, he's still in his transformed state that looks like kind of like a purple jack-o'-lantern. Mm-hmm. Is he purple or blue?
It is like bluish violet.
I'm colorblind, guys, so. So anyway, so he's still in his weighted form apparently, and 18 just like picks him up by his ass and like throws him off the ring. And like, I mean, he lands on the ring, but like he lands
so
on the
damn
edge,
heavy.
but he's so heavy that his weight cracks the ground underneath him and he falls anyway.
He can't recover because he's so heavy.
Right. And that's funny because Chocolate at the end, she was like one of the last ones standing in her dimensional barrier, and she was like, "Boo, boo, boo, you can't touch me in here." And he's just like, "Kobe."
She got like Bowser from like Mars.
Oh yeah, it's just, she was just from so she was just like thrown right off. So that's the end of her. Interestingly enough, though, when Kale was still trapped in the illusion dampening field or whatever you want to call it, they have this key flash because she breaks out using her berserk-esque form. It looks kind of like a controlled legendary Super Saiyan, I guess is the best way to say it. She still has her pupils. They're not. Her eyes aren't white. Like,
she's like not
she's
a little bulkier, but she's not like really.
Her hair's standing up more like a traditional Super Saiyan as opposed to So that's pretty cool. And then they do this. They do their ki blasts at it to attack them. They all the Pride Troopers team up with their ki blasts, and they
so,
do.
You know, it's funny. Caulifla's was red, and when has Goku done a red blast before?
When you're Super Saiyan 4. Maybe that's maybe that's
I know,
a nod. It might be
it's
nod,
fine.
but
I thought it was.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna see any hairy boobies in this saga, which I mean would be nice. I know. Fuck it, I'm done. No more Dragon Ball
anymore. Screw up.
Yeah. But so yeah, it was called the United Justice Stream. Was their like all their ki blasts combined?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And they had a ki blast with it, and then Caulifla like looks at Kale because she knows she's got more pent up power, and she's like listen, like I believe in you, I trust you, you're my friend, like I'm happy to have you as a protege. And she blasts out complete berserk mode, and it looks like Caulifla goes Super Saiyan 2.
Probably.
Yeah,
probably.
So it was hard to tell with the lightning because like of the
so
ki
much
that was going on. But I assumed she was going Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
And then they pushed them all back, and 3 of them are gone automatically. And then we just already talked about Chocolate like got thrown off in her energy ball, so they're all done. So that leaves which members left of the Pride Troop?
Jiren obviously, Toppo, Beerus guy,
The Jack
and then I think
dude.
some like large blue dude.
Yeah.
I saw it. You know, there's one like big blue guy left.
So then after that, it seems now that Kale and Caulifla are walking back towards Goku and 17 and 18, but Kale is still in her berserk state, but it looks to be controlled. And Goku says, "Is she okay like that?" And then Caulifla says, "Yeah, she's completely under control," but then she like just passes out because like apparently her stamina gave out. Like
I mean, well, she already kind of got like her ass whooped by Jiren.
Controlling her emotions is not the same as controlling her power in that form. So at least like she knows that she can try to control herself.
Yeah.
I guess it just gives us some more tankiness in the future. But like we said before, Goku lets them go, and then like they go off on their own way, and 17 and 18 kind of like it seems like they're kind of digging at Goku a little bit for letting them go. Like they're like, listen, everybody's our enemy here. Like it's.
I guess if anyone's to dig in them, it would be two of them are probably more likely to do it.
Right. And then we that's the end of the episode. So usually for you guys that are always on my channel, you know that I give a rating at the end of each episode, and I rate them based on the animation in the episode, which this episode actually saw a lot more animation problems than the last two. Like there was and they weren't like just the inner-middle fighting ones. They were talking standing still shots. Some of them were little, but I'm not going to let that affect it too much. The action was good. The pacing was good. We saw a lot of different character action besides just Goku. Actually, Goku didn't do much except get Yin. Like,
he actually wasn't in that one.
He didn't do anything.
Whatever.
So, personally, I think I'm going to give this episode it's kind of 6 and 7 between that. I'm going to say a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. It was entertaining. It was decent to watch. Like I said, my only downfall was the Pride Troopers. Like they all each only did one thing, and then just got like they're like, here's our unique abilities, and we want to see more, and then they're just done. So that was my only downfall, but I enjoyed watching it. Like, what did you think about it?
I really liked it. I mean, I think it had a lot of cool moments, and it wasn't focused on two characters. I'm gonna go like there's like 8.5.
8.5? Wow, that's.
I don't know about a 9, but at least in the 8s for me.
I haven't even given it a 9. I haven't had the episode yet. I think for me, like, if as much of a Dragon Ball fan as I am watching it since 1988, I still am very like critical when it comes to my show, because I think that like if you love something, you need to take part in criticizing it if you want to see your thing go better. And I think I've only seen like maybe 3 10 out of 10s out of all of Dragon Ball. Like one of which being when Goku turns into a Super Saiyan 4 against Broly. That episode's lit. But yeah.
You said 4 against Broly?
I mean against Baby.
Oh, okay. How the hell did that happen? I watched that.
That's another dimension. I'm from Universe 6, so that's how it happened in our universe.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got the extra episode preview for next week, which was showing the magical girls. We had like Fat Candy Crush.
Yeah, I'm very mixed on that universe because like there's some really cool people and there's some really like what the hell. And like it bothers me because like I was saying like that girl looks cooler before she transforms. It's like what the hell.
Yeah, like she's like pretty and cute, and then turns into like Rebel Wilson, and you're like, all right, well, she's like Queen Bouncy Ball. But all right, guys, that's gonna be it for this week's episode. Thanks for staying with us.
Can I say a couple things?
Oh, go ahead.
First I wanted to say, well, for one, Mark actually showed a picture of me and him, like I think the first episode I did with him.
Yeah.
And obviously I know my hair is a little different since then. You know, that was an old picture. Now my hair is only slightly blonde. And also I didn't mean to mention this to you, but I actually slightly changed the name of my channel. It's Ragiroth Enterprises now.
Enterprises.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure, you know, so like people don't get confused, you know.
So starting today, you guys are going to start seeing content on Rich's channel. There's going to be a lot of crossover between our 2 channels because we're going to
mostly
kind of
with
start
like these
reviews and whatnot. We're going to start kind of like a conglomerate kind of different YouTubers to try and make our own thing. So his link to his channel is actually in my description box down below. So be sure to go there and give him a follow because you're going to see some great content coming out very soon. Do you have anything else to say?
I guess that's it. No, that was really it.
Okay. Well, thanks again, guys, for being with us today and watching our episode review. And remember, these are all opinions, and none of these like reflect anything about from Toy or anything like that. This is just our opinions. And of course, yeah, you know, if you just want to like, if you want to debate us or if you want to ask any questions or anything, just go in the comment section below and leave a comment or send me a DM. You can also find me on Dragon Ball Z Amino. You can also find me on Twitter at Deviant Art, and my Patreon link is below as well, as well as my other stuff. So just go down there and check it out. But leave me a like if you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and just give me some feedback and let me know what to do in the future. That's it for today, guys, and as always, stay powered up.
Please stay powered up.
Peace.